This introduction is a little insane for me. In I think we figured it out during the pre-show. And by the way, if you can hear an hour of us with Lex on our bonus episodes, but you've got to be a Patreon supporter. So it's going to cost you $1 to go do that. 1998, I'm driving back. I'll never forget this story as long as I live. I'm driving back from Tyler, Texas. We had made it a fucking night, guys. Like, we had I think we left Tyler at 4:30. I had drank so much I was sober.
There's really nothing left to do after 11:30.
That's what I'm saying.
God knows what you were doing.
That's what we try to tell our children, right?
Yeah.
Like, what good happens after midnight? Well, that's when people get pregnant, Mom.
Yeah, babies.
Apparently.
Yeah,
and herpes.
Everett's super cute, though.
He is really cute, boy. I stopped in some little podunk town to get gas, and I had the radio on, and I'm flipping channels, as I did the thing where, like, the key is just, like, halfway there, so it's on. I'm waiting for the thing to fill up. Somebody went in to take a piss, and I stumble upon Q102, and the Lex and Terry Show is on, and I hear one of the funniest things I've ever heard in the history of radio, where they were ringing the doorbell of people and then running. But it's the funny thing is this on the air. So I was lucky enough about 8 years later to go on their show and then befriend them, and we've been friends since. Lex Staley is here from the Lex and Terry Show, everybody. Let's give it up for him. Yeah, absolutely. Man, I can't tell you.
I'm having a blast, by the way.
Well,
this is
I'm
really cool.
so glad you're here. Now, we rewind just a few weeks ago. I was on your podcast.
You were. We just released that, by the way.
That's right. It's out everywhere.
Yeah. So
what's the address?
If you want the link, it's on all of our social media, official Lex and Terry Facebook page, and at Lex and Terry IG and Twitter and all that stuff.
The cool thing about the interview is that you had set it down to be 45 minutes, but you had told me all of you and I had texted a bunch. You and I have some stuff in common as far as like the last, or at least for me, a few years ago, both went through crazy divorces and both have dealt with some shit with some anxiety. And,
we had a whole conversation about that.
So we talk about all of that. We put it all out there. But not only do you ask me questions, I ask you questions back. 45 minutes turned into 3 hours, and we forgot to talk about the band.
Yeah, I felt more interviewed than he was. I found out more about myself in the first hour of that than I knew myself.
I get that a lot. Yeah. Now, man, I'm so happy you're here. And it just so happened that I invited you to come and be on this podcast. You're like, dude, I'll do it anytime. And I'm like, what are some of your favorite movies? The first movie you said was Predator.
Oh, yeah.
And it was actually on the schedule. So
we only had to move him back 1 week.
I texted Rich and I go, dude, let's just get him in here for this. And I think everybody's like, is he really going to show up? He's really going to be this.
Well, I didn't think you'd do my favorite movie of all time, which is American Beauty.
Oh, we would have totally done that.
We're going to at some point.
Yeah, that's on the calendar.
Gonna have to come back.
Yeah.
Like the greatest movie ever.
Now, besides me, is Lex like the second most famous
I was
person?
literally just going to say, I think he's actually more famous than the guy from Roadhouse.
I think he is too. Yeah.
What guy from Roadhouse?
So we had the guy in here who ripped Patrick Swayze's heart out.
No, his throat.
His throat.
The guy that says I fuck guys like you in prison?
Is that guy?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, we had that guy in here.
Yeah.
Oh, God, it's one of my favorite lines ever. I fell off the couch the first time I heard that.
It's like episode 40.
Did he just say that?
Yeah, he was in here. And now here's the thing, Lex, about him. If you want to go back and listen to that episode, he is unaware that movie isn't real. So the whole time he talks about it, he's just like, well, we'd wake up in the morning, we'd tape up our ribs, and we'd just fight. And one time that Patrick Swayze, he'd kick me right here in the nose or whatever. Then next day, whatever, we're doing this, we're doing some choreography. I had to return I broke 2 of his ribs. And we're just like, okay, I'm not really sure that's what's supposed to happen. And he's like, he literally thought it was real. Wow. So we had to ask him, did you really rip his throat out? Like, is that what happened to him?
Oh,
it's called acting.
Yeah.
You're not Daniel fucking Day-Lewis or
He was
the guy who takes a hammer to his foot so he can win an Oscar.
He was a sweetheart of a guy, though.
He was amazing, by the way. I do that because I'm being playful. He was so amazing.
He
and his
really
wife
was.
was great. Well, Lex, we're really glad you're here, and again, it's an honor to have you here. Terry has been such a great friend to me through a bunch of shit, and I'm so glad that you and I have gotten to be such good friends.
Me too, man.